Good afternoon, student of class 10. I am going to tell about center of gravity. Center of gravity, look at that. That is a non-uniform body shape. From every section, different weight is working and all are working on downward. But imagine it is assumed that from a fixed point, all the weight resultant of the weight is working at a fixed point, that is known as center of gravity. Look at that. In a circular ring, center of gravity is the center point. In a triangular shape, center of gravity is located at medium, that means at centroid. All the medium joining at a point, that is known as centroid. In case of rectangle, the intersection of two diagonal, that is the center of gravity. Okay, next part is uniform circular motion. If a body is moving at a constant speed in a circular path, that is known as uniform circular motion. Direction of velocity. If the body is moving in a circular path, the direction of the velocity is always changing. You can check it out. Look at that. At that point A, the velocity is in that side. In the B point, the velocity is in that. Wherever, according to the position, the direction of the velocity is changing. That means at A point, the direction of velocity at north side. At B point, direction of velocity at west side. At C point, direction of velocity at south side. At D point, direction of velocity at east side. The difference between uniform and non-uniform circular motion. If the speed is in a uniform linear motion, the speed and velocity are constant and acceleration is zero. The uniform linear motion is unaccelerated motion, while in a uniform circular motion, the velocity is variable. Why the velocity is variable? Speed may be constant, but velocity is never constant in a circular motion. Why? Because you can check it out. Velocity is a vector quantity. You have to mention the direction and speed both in case of velocity. Speed is constant, but as the direction is changing always, so that a velocity is not a constant in case of circular motion. Now the main part of the chapter, centripetal and centrifugal force. Centripetal force means the force acting on a body moving in a circular path in a direction towards its center. Look at that. The body is moving in a circular path. Always there is an attraction towards its center. Like whatever things you have taken a stone and you have binded with a string and moving it in a circular path. What happened? There is an attraction of that stone towards its center. That's why if you lose that, if you decrease the velocity, that will fall down at the center. That force is known as centripetal force. Now there is one more force working there. If suddenly you cut the string, what happens? The stone will go away. Why? Because there is one more force acting. If the body is moving in a circular path, its tendency is to go out from the orbit, and that force is known as centrifugal force. If the centripetal force and centrifugal force is same, the body will move in a circular path. If one force is greater than other, then the stone will otherwise go away or fall down at the center. If the centripetal force is greater than the centrifugal force, the body will fall on the center. If the centrifugal force is more than the centripetal force, then the body will go away from the center. Whatever artificial orbit is moving in its orbit, here calculation is done that centripetal force is equal to centrifugal force. That's why they are moving in a fixed path. They are not going away or they are not falling down in the earth. Okay, there is some question. Explain uniform circular motion. Why such motion is said to be accelerated? Because velocity is always direction of the motion is always changing. That's why I can say the accelerator motion is said to be accelerated. Next, you have to draw a diagram. Third one, is it possible to have an accelerated motion with a constant speed? Yes. In uniform circular motion, it is having uniform circular motion. In that case, speed is constant, but yet there is an accelerated motion because direction is changing. Okay, you can answer that. The questions are easy. You just have to understand that. If you have any problem regarding that questions, you can ask me. We are starting a new chapter, that is work, energy and power. Work, you know that before. What is work done? If force is applied and the body moves in the direction of the applied force, then we said work is said to be done. You have applied the force but the body is not moving, that means work done is zero. Like you are pushing the wall, like you are pushing the car. Here you are applied the force but the body is not moving, that means work done is zero. Formula of work done equal to force into displacement. Work done may be negative or positive. If the body is moving in the along the direction of the force, then it is said to be work done is positive. If the body is moving against the applied force, then it is said work done is negative. Measurement of force, I say W equal to F into S, force into displacement. And work done, the SI unit of the work done is joule, or you can also evaluate the unit from that formula, Newton into meter. So Newton meter. So SI unit of the work done is Newton meter and one more unit is joule. So I can say 1 Newton meter equal to 1 joule. Expression of work done. There is a vector taken, like if the body is moving in that direction, so I have to take the force along the horizontal, then that will become, this F will become F cos theta, or if you there is an S, displacement is occurring in that direction, if you move that in horizontal direction, that will become S cos theta. So the formula become Fs cos theta. W equal to Fs applied when the displacement occurring at the horizontal displacement, horizontal direction. If the body is displacement is occurring at some angle, then the formula will become W equal to Fs cos theta. That things you have to remember. How you get that formula? Because you know that cos theta equal to base by hypotenuse. Base by hypotenuse. Here hypotenuse is the displacement and base is AB equal to S cos theta. From that we got W equal to Fs cos theta. Okay, special case. Look at that. If cos, that means if that angle is 0, that means the body is moving horizontally, then W equal to Fs. If the force is applied perpendicularly, then theta is 90 degree, then the value become, or work done is 0. That means if the force is applied perpendicularly, the work done is 0, because cos 90 value is 0, that means all the term will be 0. So hence work done will be 0. Condition for the work done by force to be 0. In which cases you have applied the force but the work done is 0. If there is no displacement, If displacement is normal to the direction of force, that means force is applied perpendicularly in these two cases. And there is third case is there, if the displacement is in the direction of opposite. I already said that if the displacement is occurring against the force, then we said work done is negative. Next, work done by the force of gravity. If we are not applying the force, gravity is applying the force, then there will be work done, but the formula will be changed. Then the formula will be mgh. M for mass, G for acceleration due to gravity, H for height. Unit of work, I already said that. And what is the relation between joule and arc? 1 joule equal to 10 to the power 7 arc. What is the arc? CGS unit of the work. Power. Power equal to the rate of doing work. That means W by T, work done by time. That is the power. The power spent is depends on the two factor, that is amount of work done and amount of time taken. Unit of power, we know that joule by second, so joule per second, and joule per second is also denoted by watt. So SI unit of the power is watt, or I can say joule per second. Gigawatt, kilowatt, it is written here, you can see that. CGS unit is arc per second, or also that is called there is no short term of CGS unit. Arc per second is the unit of CGS power. Now horsepower, 1 horsepower equal to 746 watt. And here is the difference between work and power. Energy, you know that capable, or that makes us capable to do some work, that is energy. Unit of energy is also joule. Okay, calorie. Heat energy is usually measured in calorie, and 1 calorie equal to 4.18 joule. Now electric volt or electron volt, the energy of atomic particle is very small, so it is measured in electron volt. 1 electron volt equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 9 joule. Okay, today no more. Try to understand whatever you have learned today. Try to read that carefully. If you are facing any problem, you can ask me. I'm saying example. Okay, read the numericals. A body when acted upon by force. Here force is given 10 kg force. Get displacement D or S is given 0.5 meter. Calculate the work done, just multiply it. 10 into 0.5, that means that will be 5 joule. When the displacement is in the direction of force, that means if in the direction of force, that is 5 joule positive. If at an angle of 60 degree, then that will be Fs cos theta, that means 5 into cos 60 degree. If the normal at the if it is normal at the force, then that will become 0. We know that if the force is applied normally or perpendicularly, that become 0. Okay, try to solve it. Here first you have to change the force to the Newton. For that you have to multiply with G, that means 10 or 9.8. Here G is taken 10, so multiply with 10. So force is 10 into 10, 100 Newton. So work done is 100 into 0.5, that means 50. Then next one into 50 into cos 60 degree, and we know that cos 60 degree is half, so half into 50, that is 25. Hence you have to solve the numericals, that are very easy. Try to understand all the things carefully, and if you have any problem regarding that, you can ask me.